How we doing out there, Evergreen Speedway? Make some noise! Are you ready to meet your top 16 drivers? Starting off with first car parked, as always, here in that gum out. He is in the black out team of him and Chris Forsberg. He is in the gum out. Toyota Racing, Toyota 86 on Nexon Tires, Ryan Tuerck. Originally from Michigan, now living in Southern California in the Roush Performance Falcon Tires. Ford Mustang, it's JTP, Justin Pollak. His Falcon Tire teammate in the Wish Falcon Tires Corvette, the Beast from the Bay, Matt Field. From Battleground, Washington, say hello to the Butcher, Cameron Moore. And in the IMR, that's Inca Madness Racing from Lima, Peru, it is Alex Hilbrun. HGK Achilles Tire, this E92 Eurofighter from Latvia, it's Christoph Splush. Next up, one of two of the Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires, S15, your defending champion from Ireland, James the Machine Dean. You saw the smile on his face. He is, for the first time here in top 16 at Evergreen Speedway, he is in the Doc Edinburgh Falcon Tires 370Z. It is Jeff Jones. This machine was built to shred. Achilles Tires Ford V8 powered Thunderbolt Fuel S13. It is Matt Kaufman. Former champion pilot in this Rockstar energy drink. Nexon Tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla hatchback. It's a mouthful, it's a fistful. It is the Norwegian Hammer, Frederick Osbo. A Formula Drift veteran, the OGs, Negretti Performance, Toyota Racing, Toyota 86 on Falcon Tires, the Goosh Ken Gooshie. Dabbing on him, huh? This gentleman can dab on all y'all because he is your Black Magic #1 qualifier award winner from Poland in the Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires S15, Peter the Candyman Visek. Some more teal and blue in the Falcon Tires S14 Max Oil Drifts Wheels Field Suspension S14.5. It is Odi Bakshis. Not teal and blue, but still with some Falcon Tires in the Turn 14 distribution. Subaru BRZ, another FD veteran since 2004. It is Slide or Daichiro Yoshihara. The last two vehicles are RTR, ready to rock. It is Chelsea Denofa. These two vehicles, again, hitting the three-wheel motion. Your former Formula Drift champion in that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR. It is Von Gittin Jr. Those are your top 16 drivers. Are you ready to send it, Seattle? Awesome. Keep it going. Seattle. We have a very special announcement. We're going to have Von Gittin Jr. and Abigail Gittin's gender reveal here on track. First time it's ever been done. We've had proposals, we've had other things, but now the Gittin family is going to be three.
What's your guess?
I'm going to go with, it's a boy. It's my guess.
We'll find out.
Von Gittin Jr., so him and his wife are expecting a baby, and it looks like it's blue smoke. So Von Gittin Jr. and his lovely wife, Abigail Gittin, are going to be having a baby boy. So congratulations to Abigail Gittin and Von Gittin Jr. For our top 16 drivers. Yesterday was qualifying. We saw 32 earlier. Now we are seeing top 16. Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage, your tour guides for today's event, as well as we'll bring in Ryan Lontaine if necessary and when needed to elaborate maybe on a decision, as well as Lorette Nickel, our girl on the ground.
You know, we saw some great qualifying yesterday and, you know, some awesome top 32. And one of the biggest ones was Matt Kaufman taking out Chris Forsberg.
Yeah.
And I think we have Lorette down on the ground with him right now.
All right.
Matt Kaufman is moving on top 16 and quite a wild ride seeing you and Chris Forsberg. What did you see?
Oh, well, I saw him go to enter onto the bank because I was following first, and so, but as soon as he like tried to enter, he straightened up. He had to have had motor problems of some sort. I don't know anything of what's going on over there, but yeah, and so but I just kind of kept in it, kept her sliding, and then like he got back onto it, continued the run from there, and then halfway down the bank, I sucked up to him a little bit, and then he straightened up, and then it caused my back left wheel to climb over his car, and like I went for a ride. It was crazy.
Any damage sustained to your car?
No, not really. I mean, it's just like that body panel damage and whatnot, and I thought the bash bar would be toast, but she's all good.
Okay, perfect. Matt, best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leo.
Seems very happy. He's in the top 16. He takes out, or unfortunately, Chris takes himself out, and that's a notable fact there, Ryan, because Chris was third coming into this round of competition. Championship points. He's out in 32, and continuing on, James Dean, Frederick Osbo, Christos Blush, JTP, all those contenders. All right, so we saw Peter Visick just warming up his Falcon tires there. Also, more Falcon tires underneath that of Jeff Jones. All right, so there you go. Peter Visick, Jeff Jones, not going against each other. Jeff Jones, for the first time in his career, advancing on a top 16 here in Seattle. The AutoZone Throwdown presented by Rain-X. This is round 5 of 8 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship. And if you're just tuning in, we are live in top 16, ready to throw down. And just overhearing our officials and saying we are clear to send. That's a sign of a good time. And Visick, Polish flag just waving there on his antenna. And we got a clean start. No cones are hit. Here comes Visick. Again, a 96 in qualifying yesterday. And boom, right back on the wall. Jeff Jones, great handle from him. Couple car lengths in between them. If he keeps them together, maybe gain some ground here in the power alley. Quick into that touch and go, filling that second outer zone. Peter Visick with a little bobble there. Opportunity for Jeff Jones to catch up, and he does. Wraps it around that final clip. Look at this. Man, Jeff Jones is the man possessed. I mean, he's following our #1 qualifier, but he's hanging tough.
Yeah, you can see Peter Visick right here using the entirety of the course to get his initiation lined up, and then he just slots himself right at the upper end of the bank. Jeff Jones does the same thing, but he's a little bit farther behind, doing a great job trying to keep pace with Peter. Now watch how he gets into the touch and go here. Nice big angle right there, just a little bit short on that inside clip, and you notice that bobble there by Visick, but Jeff Jones charging, trying to keep him as close as he possibly can as they wrap through that final inside clip. And a good competitive battle there, as now they'll switch things up with Jeff Jones going to the lead and Peter trying to chase him down.
Peter Visick, Jeff Jones, he qualified 17th. He will now lead. And away they go. Send it, fellas. Through that start chicane, no cones were hit. We got a clean start. You can see Peter Visick chomping at the bit, ready to attack. Seems like quite a bit of distance. Look at Jones, massive angle there. Gold wheels keep spinning, coming into that power rally. Peter Visick tucks in on the power rally into that second outer zone, taking out that front clip, taken along as a souvenir as Visick drops into formation.
So Jeff Jones not going to be a pushover here as Peter Visick paces him down into the initiation point. Both drivers initiate nice and high. Visick back away. Big angle there from Jones as Visick tries to pull up the rear end here. Now coming off the bank into the power alley on that touch and go. Great job by Jones. Phenomenal driving here as now Visick tries to close the door right there. A bit of a slowdown there for just a second. Almost some contact there. You can see Visick basically hits that first cone, takes it with him, and then just taps that second one. So both runs in the books now, and a great start here to the top 16.
All right, so let's go to the judges. Jeff Jones, slide him left for Jones, right for Peter Visick. Brian says one more time. Ryan says Peter Visick, and then finally Andy says one more time. All right, so you can see Peter Visick and Jeff Jones. They'll go back, throwing some fresh Falcon tires. And here's Denofa and Hilbrun. As Denofa qualifying 8th compared to Hilbrun's 9th, so fairly equally matched here. Denofa in the Mustang, the BC Racing Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR, Spec 5D, if you want to get technical. Could see the other Wardhouse teammate of James Dean, the defending champion, in the background, getting prepped. And looks like we are clear to send. Denofa there in the Ford Mustang. He will lead. Hilbrun will give chase. And the lights extinguish. The chase car can jump the light, but the lead car cannot. Here we go. Denofa initiates. Hilbrun right there. See if he can massage it, get as high on the bank. Look at that front right wheel stopping. It's off the ground. Hilbrun right there, dropping in like a dogfight. Oh, and overcooking is Chelsea Denofa. Going beyond that touch and go, going way off course. That could definitely hurt his chances of advancing on, Ryan.
Well, we saw that a little bit with Denofa on that first inside clip. This time it extended out to the touch and go. But a great start. Just look how close these guys are to each other on initiation and then through the big bank here. Denofa blasting on the big bank, but Hilbrun not giving an inch, staying on that line. Now watch as Denofa comes off the bank. He's going to reach 2-3 wheels off the touch and go there. Get back on course. Hilbrun kind of sees it, makes a little bit of an adjustment, and now you see a little bit of an extension here between both drivers, but definitely a mistake out front by Chelsea, going off course there through that touch and go. But incredible job by both Alex Hilbrun and Chelsea Denofa on the bank overall. A lot of commitment there from both drivers on initiation and rolling on through that very scary bank.
All right, so judges wanting to request a different angle of Chelsea. Again, really went beyond that touch and go area. Saw him leave the bank, just coming in hot, and surprised that Hilbrun kept the composure. All right, so we'll take a look at it after the second half of this battle with Hilbrun out front and Denofa in the chase position. All right, Hilbrun, what do you got? It's getting the clean air as Denofa will chase him down. Coming through the start chicane. Hilbrun, whoa, real flirting with the side of the Mustang. Chelsea didn't flinch. And Hilbrun high on the bank. Denofa right there on the door of the BMW. Out to that touch and go. Chelsea transitions. Whoa, buddy, holds on to it. Great transition. Oh, and Hilbrun and Denofa battling it out. Make some noise, Seattle. Woo! Oh, doctor.
Well, this is going to get interesting, Jared, because the start got real interesting there. Watch Chelsea. He gets really into Hilbrun's lane. Now, Hilbrun looks like he initiates without a problem, but his spotter could very well say that Chelsea was in his lane there, and he was. But Hilbrun nice and high on the bank. Denofa very close here. This is an amazing chase run by Denofa, who comes through the smoke line, dives right in here, keeps the pressure on. Hilbrun hits this inside clip perfectly, and then right here Chelsea dives in, makes contact with Hilbrun, but Hilbrun does not flop. He stays in it and pushes through the finish line. Incredible battle there in the top 16. Let's go to the judges.
All right, so here we go. Hilbrun and Denofa, slide them left for IMR from Lima, Peru, or Chelsea Denofa on the right. Ryan says Hilbrun, as does Andy and Brian. Alex Hilbrun gets the victory. Lantain?
So this is going to be an unpopular decision for sure, but Chelsea Denofa tapped the wall at the end of outside zone 1 when he was leading, and he ended up going 3 wheels off the course in the touch and go area. So if that was a wall, his car would be wadded up in a little ball. If that was dirt, he would have been 3 wheels off in the dirt. So say Road Atlanta, for instance. And in that situation, you have to give an incomplete for that because he was so far off the course.
And he only went 3 wheels off because the other wheel was off the ground.
That technically might have been 4 wheels off because he had 3 wheels off the course and the other one was floating. Yeah. He wasn't even on the track anymore.
Right. So, unfortunately, you know, I gotta make a joke at his expense of having 3 wheels, but he did go 3 wheels off in 3-wheel motion. So there it is. Alex Hilbrun advances on. Right now, we got Dean and Gucci. James Dean, Ken Gucci, the defending champion. All right, here we go.
There we go.
James Dean leading his Wardhouse Drifting Falcon tires. S15, it was an all Falcon tire podium sweep in New Jersey. And here's some more Falcon tires vehicle with Ken Gucci in tow. Look at James Dean high on the bank. Ken Gucci not as high as Dean, kind of struggling there to get back into formation. and bringing it around. Ryan, Ken Gushi didn't look like the Ken Gushi we saw earlier today.
Well, he did the right thing here, trying to initiate as close to Dean as he possibly could and keeping pace with him as well as he possibly could. We know it's no easy task to take on Dean. You can see Gushi's on a little bit of a lower line, but you can't really give him too much flack for that because he's trying to stay with Dean and not let him get away. But obviously he's sacrificing some items here, and he's giving himself a little bit of distance on the second half of the course. So James Dean out front, pretty solid lead there. Gushi charging and attacking as best he possibly can, but he did have to sacrifice and take that little bit of a lower line on the big bank.
All right, so Ken Gushi will lead in his Greddy Performance Products, I should say. Toyota Racing, Toyota 86 on Falcon tires. Ken Gushi, one of a handful of FD veterans. Here we go. Ken Gushi out front. James Dean in the chase position. James Dean given a lot of safe room there, but that might not end up paying off for him as Gushi now finds a lot of horsepower, speed, and distances himself from James Dean into the power alley. Quick little touch and go, hit it and quit it. Into that second outer zone, now approaching the front clips. Woo! Oh, and Dean almost, I mean, you couldn't put a piece of paper in between if they did hit. Man, I'll take a look at that again.
Well, very calculated by Dean, and he attacked pretty much at the right time, but you can see here that some separation from the onset. Gushi's car is not slow. Very quick vehicle, nice and high on the bank by Gushi. Now Dean starts to try to reel him in here as they come down off the bank. Gushi just on the inside of that touch and go. Now here comes Dean diving in here, probably the closest of the battle. Nudging forward, and then through here Gushi comes with this last inside clip, and you can see Dean, little love tap, but again both drivers staying in it. Here it is through the power alley. See Gushi just getting on the edge of that touch and go. Dean right through the smoke cloud. Very close action there through that first inside clip, and then right here as Gushi gets through that second inside clip, little tap, but both drivers keep it in drift, and we finish the run.
Dean, our current points leader coming into this round. Slide him left for Gushi, right for James Dean. Ryan says James Dean, as do the other judges. James Dean, the machine, defending champion, current points leader, advances on into the Great 8.
Now you're looking down the barrel of a Jeff Jones gun because it's a one more time.
Jeff Jones, he's a wild man, and you could just his interview with Lorette earlier, this thing, we're taking to the top. Like, he's just absolutely geeked. So here we go. Peter Visick, this is the one more time battle. Piotr and Jeff Jones. All right, so Piotr initiates, Jeff Jones does as well. Oh, and Jeff Jones taps the wall, stays in it though, maintains it. There's some nasty angle there from Piotr. Look at Jeff Jones, the Edelbrock supercharger, putting it to work. Kind of straightens up there to gain some ground on him. Doesn't make it out to that second outer zone, and wraps around that final clip. And there you have Jones and Visick.
Well, Jones got to be kicking himself this time because I think he did much better on the start here. You can see he actually slowed down a little bit before the last point of initiation, and then he gave himself a gap. He tapped the wall. Now he starts to close the door on Visick, but the damage had been done. He wasn't really much of a factor on the bank. Visick hits that touch and go. Here comes Jones. Takes that little bit of a faster line through the power alley to gain proximity. And Peter Visick out front, no real major mistakes. So now you've seen the lead and the chase from both drivers, and we'll switch things up.
So Jeff Jones pulls to the start line. He will lead. Beautiful day out here at Evergreen Speedway. Local time just about 5:42. As here we go, Jeff Jones. This one more time battle. Is Jones going to take out our #1 qualifier, Peter Visick. And Piotr right there, wow! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! And Jones and Visick, mano a mano. Into that second outer zone goes Jones, Visick. He's gonna strike right here. No, Jones keeps the distance. He's going for speed.
Well, that might have been the best chase that we've seen on the bank all day long here. And Piotr eyes it up really well. You can see him right here getting very close. There's going to be a little tap there. Jones stays in it, does not flop. Very courageous of him. And now Peter backs off a little bit, comes through the smoke line. Jones out front. looking solid here. Great overall lead run from him. But the story was all Visek up on the bank. Here it is coming in. You can see he's trying to get the timing right. Just a little bit of a rub there. But Jones stays in it and keeps pushing through as they leave the bank and head down into the power alley.
He definitely could have flopped like a World Cup soccer player there. Yeah, that's awesome. He's over there just rapping out with him. I had such a good battle with you. That's my Piotr voice. I'm sorry, but I must defeat you. So some great driving there by Jones and Peter Visek. And here's the verdict. Slide him left for Jones, right for Piotr Visek. Ryan says Piotr, as does Andy and Brian. It's unanimous. Piotr Visek. Round of applause for Jeff Jones, though. Like I said, first time top 16 here in Seattle. I don't know why I said Seattle like that. Piotr in Seattle. Frederick Osbo, Matt Field. Ryan, this should be fun. 7 times going against each other. Matt Field's only won one of those times. But the way both these guys are driving this weekend, it could go either way.
This is a very pinnacle battle. We may look back at this battle depending on what happens in terms of the championship, because Osbo is right in the thick of it.
That's right. All right, here we go. Osbo, the rock star, entering next in tires. Toyota Corolla hatchback initiates into the wall. Matt Field right there, and that's just what we were expecting. That Wish Falcon Tires Corvette LeBeast from the Bay. His claws are out, the fangs are out, and he is knocking on the door of Brendan Osbo. Both of them overcooking it outside of the bank, but Osbo bounces back. Looks like Matt Field might have even saved him a little bit there. Make some noise, Seattle!
Well, that was really interesting, Jared. Let's take a look at that.
Wow.
Because another great bank by both drivers. Osbo takes the lead here, and Matt Field starts closing in, putting those claws out right out of the gate. A little bit of wiggling around, but very close to proximity. Now watch Osbo here. He's coming over a little. He's coming over a little bit, but the contact actually happens before the touch and go. So I'm sure this is going to be definitely evaluated by the judges. Great thing that Osbo stays in it. Watch, you can see Osbo's dropping off course here. He's going off, and that's where the contact happens. Then he gets back on it, and Field and him continue the battle. Incomplete. In this case, the battle continues. So even if with whoever gets fault for the contact, what's going to happen is the judges are still going to judge the battle as it is, because it continued.
All right, so a lot to take in here for the judges and our officials. And speaking of judges, Lantain.
We have come to a decision on fault there. It looks like it's Osbo's fault based on all 3 judges' inputs. And from what we saw, Osbo was going to go off course, as you guys were saying, and you could see him actually rotate the car a little bit more just before the hit. It's a slowdown zone, but it's not supposed to be used in the way that Frederick used it in that case.
Got it.
It's not supposed to save you from going off course. It's supposed to be a slight slowdown. So you can see that the tire's already over the line. He was going to go off, and Field had nowhere to go.
Because you guys have asserted fault, where this is going to play the main role in is how each driver can look at their vehicle, because I assume the run is still being judged from that point forward, correct?
The rest of the run, we're going to keep judging the entirety of the run. Frederick didn't zero out. He didn't incomplete. Neither driver stopped. Neither car broke. So both of them actually completed the run. We will judge it, Frederick,
as you see it.
Right, in the lead position, comparing lead to lead, we'll have to see what Matt does in his lead. So if Matt makes a huge error in his lead, it could be a wash for the leads, and we'll have to look at the chases and then look at who was affected by that.
All right, so thank you, Lantain. As we are seeing the preparation for our next battle, we'll revisit the second half of the Battle of Field. You can see just beyond the gantry there on that start gate of Field, Christoph Blush, Cameron Moore. Christoph Blush, he will lead. Cameron Moore will give chase. Cameron Moore, he's here in his own backyard. This is home track. Christoph Blush, he is now entering his first battle of the weekend. He again qualified second, and so he has not seen head-to-head competition. All right, so Christoph will lead. Cameron Moore give himself way too much room there. I don't think that's by design. Just if you've been paying attention to Christoph, he is a rocket ship in that vehicle. Barely kisses that touch and go, transitions into that second outer zone. Solid job, Cameron Moore, trying to nose in, loses some angle, gets out of shape. Cameron takes out that first front clip, and Kristaps takes out the last one.
Yeah, getting a great jump and using the chicane to your advantage is absolutely necessary as a chase driver, and especially so much with Kristaps Blush, because he is not going to slow down. And you can see he's laying down a solid, clean lead run. He was up on the highest part of the bank. He hits that touch and go, fills that second outer zone, and now we see Cameron Moore starting to close the door, but a little bit less angle there in his attack, but obviously not getting the jump on the bank, putting himself at a deficit there. So now we'll switch things up as Moore goes to the lead.
Kristaps will give chase. All right, here we go. Cameron Moore will lead. And here we go. Moore. Give me some more. The Butcher throwing it down. Some wavering there. Kristaps Blush, you can see gaining some ground. Popping and locking into the touch and go transition into that second outer zone. And Kristaps lunging forward. Again, that 2J. 86 of Cameron Moore crosses the finish line. Ryan, man, can't even see him through all that smoke.
Well, Blush attacked there towards the end extremely well. Let's see what happens here on initiation. Looks like Moore gets the jump. Blush now starting to reel him in. Moore, great line up on top of the bank here. Now Blush starting to put the pressure on as both drivers hit that touch and go through the power alley. And Cameron Moore wraps through that first inside clip, but there is Kristaps Blush, and then right there, great timing, gets that front bumper right on the inside right rear quarter panel of Cameron Moore, and the run is over.
The Butcher. All right, slide him left for Moore, slide him right for Kristaps Blush. Ryan, Andy, and Brian. And looks like it is unanimous. Kristaps Blush gets the win, taking out Cameron Moore. But again, kudos, hat tip to Cameron Moore, the Butcher. All right, so before we move on to this next battle, Lorette Nickel caught up with James Dean.
James Dean is moving on, and we were talking about the speed of this track and the technical nature. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, this is definitely one of the most difficult tracks in the FD calendar. It's really fast. You enter that bank full throttle, no handbrake, you just clutch kick in and hold on for dear life. It's scary as a driver. It took me a long time this weekend to kind of build my confidence up to the speed to go in there as hard as we could, but now we're feeling good. Really easy to make a mistake on this track compared to some of the other tracks, because you're going around that bank and everyone has a different technique in slowing down. So some people are left foot braking, other people are using a handbrake and angle, so it's really difficult to predict what your opponent is going to do, and you have to be like subconsciously ready to react to whatever happens in front of you.
James, thank you so much.
Pleasure, thank you very much.
James Dean talking about how difficult this track is, and that's coming from a very talented driver. A lot of seat time for him over the years, and you're defending champion. So these guys make it look really easy, Ryan.
Yeah, they most certainly do.
If you saw that stat there, these guys have gone against each other 12 times in their history of being formative competitor, and look like Ryan Tuerck bested Dai Yoshihara with 7 times. All right, so again, Dai Yoshihara with the turbocharged LS. And here we go, Ryan Tuerck initiating into the bank. Nice job by Tuerck. Dai Yoshihara right there. Looks like Tuerck gets some separation from him. Exiting out in the bank. How are they going to do in the power rally? Flirting with that touch and go. Oh, Ryan Tuerck, a bit of a correction there. And around that final clip goes Tuerck and Yoshihara.
Tuerck had a nice save there. Could have been a bigger mistake than it was. Take a look at how both guys in sync here. Dai anticipates where Tuerck is going to initiate, does a great job there, keeping the pressure on. But Tuerck up front, nice high line, you can see right there. Now coming down off the bank, getting just right into that touch and go area. And then that's where that little tiny flub was. And Dai was able to nose in there for a second. But Tuerck out front looking pretty solid and consistent. And great start there by both drivers.
Maintain your mic, just close it up a little. All right, so Yoshihara will now lead Tuerck giving chase. The camera's getting it fixed. Find Formula Drift on CBS Sports, both Formula Drift and Formula Drift Insider. So basically a concentrated version of the competition on CBS Sports. And then Formula Drift Insider, just more insight, a little bit more dramatic storytelling from behind the scenes of drivers, teams, crew, and how it unfolds. So check it out on CBS Sports. As Dai Yoshihara will lead, Ryan Tuerck will give chase. No cones hit in the making of this battle. As Yoshihara initiates, Ryan Tuerck, you can see him inching closer and closer. Yoshihara very poised, settled, as Tuerck mirrors the angle there. Looks like some debris flying in the air, transitioning into that second outer zone. Flicking it back around that final clip goes Yoshihara and Tuerck. Ryan, let's look at this again.
The cones are taking a beating today, especially the last two. You can see pacing each other down that back straight, initiating Dai nice and high on the bank, but here comes Tuerck, trying to reel him in a little bit. Getting super close here is Ryan Tuerck. May have been a little bit of a rub there, and then falls back for a second as Dai is out front, super close to that outside zone, very tight on that inside clip as the lead driver, and Tuerck keeping it close as well as they cross that finish line. Let's see if we can notice any contact here. Might have been right there, just the front left wheel, probably on the door of Daijiro Yoshihara.
Waiting for the verdict here from the judges. Our judges. Who's advancing on? Slide him left for Yoshihara, right for Ryan Tuerck. And Ryan says, one more time. Andy says Ryan Tuerck, and Brian says one more time. So they are going at it again. Where we have Osbo and Field. Yeah, let's take a look at the first run between these two, Field and Osbo, as we're getting prepared here, Ryan.
And just to set the context here, once again, the fault was given to Osbo, but the battle is still going to be judged as is because we did not have a stopped run. But you can see Field really pouring the pressure on here. Osbo starting to go off course, and then right as he gets to that point, you see Matt Field bump him. And now we are the second half of this battle. So we'll be taking a look at how Matt Field leads here and how Frederick Osbo chases, knowing what transpired in run number one. Very big battle here for the championship, Jared.
Yeah, no, you know, we're in round 5, only 3 rounds left to go, and we see Bluish advancing on, we see James Dean advancing on, and you know, yeah. So this has, as you like to say, championship implications. Tire particulate. Dropping some tires here. Here we go. Matt Field initiating. Frederick Osbo in the chase position. Matt Field coming off that great performance in New Jersey. Can deliver once again here in Seattle. Right into the touch and go. Solid transition to that second outer zone. On that second hash mark on that front clip transition. Look at Osbo trying to say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Let's look at this again, Ryan. And again, going into this second half, Osbo was definitely at a disadvantage.
Well, near flawless chase run by Frederick Osbo up until the end, but Matt Field, once again, consistent out front, improving his lead game as he comes off the bank after a nice bank run there. And you can see Osbo really keeping the pressure on Matt Field through this first inside clip and right here. And watch, Osbo's going to slide a little bit, lose a tiny bit of angle there. But overall, a tremendous chase run from Frederick Osbo, but an equally solid lead from Matt Field. So I have to imagine, Jared, that it's going to come down to that run number one and how the judges judge that overall, giving fault to Frederick Osbo.
Slide him left for Field, right for Osbo. Talking about championships here and points up for grabs. Who's going to move on into the Great 8? Our judges say, Ryan says Matt Field, Andy says Matt Field gets the win. Matt Field takes out Frederick Osbo and advances on. Make some noise, Seattle. All right, everybody run. Here we go. We're going to see Justin Pollak and Vaughn Gittin Jr., 2 Mustangs here on track. You can see 11 times between the two of them. These guys kind of had some words over the years. They've kissed and made up, but you know, this is kind of a grudge match here, Ryan. As we've, again, like I said, over the years, they've exchanged some words, they've exchanged some body parts, some panels. I'm talking about the carbon fiber and fiberglass.
You know, it's like you know, a family relationship. You love each other, and it's a friendly rivalry, but they certainly have history. And the most important thing is they're two top drivers at the top of their game with incredible vehicles, and the winner of this is most certainly going to be us for sure.
Two great looking cars, like you said, two giants of the sport. And Justin Pollak, you know, he's a contender for a championship too. Here we go. JTP, he's been doing that initiation all day and just turning on that Falcon tire smoke machine. Justin Pollak, great degree of angle. It's like Vaughn Gittin Jr. lose a little bit of angle there. Now into that second outer zone. Nice job by Vaughn. Getting right next to JTP, and contact was made, it looked like there. Whoa, and Vaughn goes off course. Oh my goodness. So that contact might have caused Vaughn.
Let's watch this again. You can see Justin with that wide sweeping initiation. As you mentioned, he's been doing it all day. Great start by both guys. Vaughn inching up here, nice and high on the bank. Vaughn goes a little bit deep right there. He loses a little bit of ground to Pollak. Now he's starting to catch back up, coming through the power alley. Dives in here, and then watch this as he transitions from 1 to 2. He's going to be on the inside here. And right there, we're going to see a little bit of a bump. And then as he comes out of the smoke line, you can see the right front looked like it was really tweaked. And he had to go off course there, so possibly sustaining some damage. Watch as he transitions. He's going to be right on the inside. He set himself up really well and then made contact there with probably the front left. And then maybe the front left is broken is what's going on because of the contact.
Make some noise for him. Vaughn Gittin Jr. steps out of his vehicle, the Monster Energy Nitto tire, Ford Performance Mustang RTR. We'll get Vaughn off course here. He's going to inspect his vehicle, and yeah, I'd have to assume so. Lontaine, is that correct? I mean, you know, Vaughn went through the course, but I would have to assume Vaughn's at fault here. So Pollak would be able to look at his car, and then Vaughn would have to call a comp timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been deemed that Gittin was at fault for that. Justin was doing what he was supposed to do through that part of the track. Vaughn just was being aggressive, as we expect everybody to be in the chase position, and got himself inside and tapped. He did a great job. He stayed nice and close and did a good job all the way through the finish. That was just an issue that occurred afterwards.
All right, we got the teams, the respective teams. We got Vaughn's.
Yeah, you can see them back there.
Yeah, Vaughn's spotter, and then you got JTP spotter, and you got Ryan's stupid smiling face. Yes. As we get Vaughn's vehicle off course, Lorette Nickel caught up with the Polish driver Peter Visek, the Candyman.
Peter Visek is moving forward, and we see that smile, which we love. And Peter, the sun is dropping. The weather conditions out here are affecting you guys a little bit. Talk about what you're experiencing.
Yes, in my case, last time when we was driving, it was like the beginning of top 16. I have a bye run. It was the first run in top 16, so it was totally different conditions. The sun was in a different position. So now when we are approaching the first corner, at the beginning, we can actually visualize the wall in a different way because the sun is actually shining it the way that it's a bit different, you know, to see. It's a bit might be a bit confusing. It's hard to capture if you are actually getting away from the wall or if you are staying in the wall or actually getting deeper. But after the first run, we were start to be getting comfortable with that. But with time, the definitely vision of this corner will change. So that's the factor which you will have to be aware of. But apart from that, the track seems to be pretty much the same. Maybe the grip starts to be a bit different, but it's only like a minor thing.
Best of luck moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As we just saw JTP and Vaughn Gittin Jr., let's revisit the one more time battle between Ryan Tuerck and Daijiro Yoshihara. Ryan Tuerck will lead. He qualified 7th. Dai Yoshihara qualified 10th. Where are my drifting fans at? Obviously, you're here. You're a drifting fan, so I appreciate that. Unless you just didn't want to come. Your dad drug you out here. All right, here we go. Ryan Tuerck, Dai Yoshihara. Ryan Tuerck initiating, solid job there. You can see him get a little higher on Dai. Tucking in right behind the 86. Whoa, Dai almost seat in the front end of the car, takes out that Black Magic Intense tire. And Ryan, you definitely go, I'm going to take this thing home. This is a souvenir for 4th of Drift Seattle.
I think Dye got a much better jump this time around, at least stuck with Tuerck for a longer duration of time, and you can see Tuerck is still nice and high on the bank. He's putting down a great standard for his lead run, but Dye right here very close to Ryan as they leave the bank, come down the power alley. Tuerck just hits that touch and go area, and then right there goes a little bit long, but you can see Dye dives in, tiny bit tight on that last inside clip, and then right there, that final one as well.
You're number 1, Ryan. All right, so Dai Yoshihara will lead. Ryan, have you seen these nachos that some of these people are carrying? It's like a bucket of chips and cheese. It's gnarly.
That's what nachos are, right? Chips and cheese.
Yeah, but just massive. If I was a hot dog, would you eat me? I think you would. All right, so Vaughn Gittin Jr. and his team thrashing to work on this vehicle. Again, he had to call his competition timeout. Yeah, this is getting good here. Thrashing to get on this thing. Get it done. But here we go. Dai Yoshihara, Ryan Tuerck, the second half of this battle as Vaughn Gittin Jr. and his team working on it. Ryan Tuerck given ample room here for Dai Yoshihara. Again, that turbocharged LS under the hood of Dai's vehicle. The 2JZ under the hood of Tuerck's 86 coming into the power alley. Dai Yoshihara gained some ground. Into that second outer zone goes Yoshihara and Tuerck. And bring it on home.
Well, very similar there. Maybe Dai had a little bit more proximity towards the latter part of the bank. But you can see Tuerck is making up good ground here. Gets pretty close to Dai. I mean, very similar, maybe the same there. Dai hits that touch and go really well. Wraps around to this first inside clip. You can see Tuerck doesn't take out the cone, doesn't hit it. Very smooth run by both drivers. And Jared, there's the clock.
Yeah,
on
there's
Vaughn
the clock.
Gittin Jr. 2 minutes and 3 seconds and counting.
Dai Yoshihara, Ryan Tuerck, slide him left for Dai, slide him right for Ryan Tuerck. And here we go. Ryan says, Ryan, Andy, and Brian, it's unanimous. Ryan Tuerck gets the victory and moves on. He'll be going against Christoph Blush in the Great 8. All right, so look at the clock is ticking. Ryan, I don't know if Vaughn's gonna, looks like the hood getting buttoned up. Could see Dean down there working on Vaughn's vehicle. Just about a minute. Seen Rob throw the hood on. Jess and the team. Right, I don't know if it's gonna make it. We gotta get the wheel on.
Yeah, we gotta get the wheel on. Looks like they're still working on some of the componentry there in the suspension.
Dang.
I can't tell if the body language is saying we're giving up or what's going on here, but
yeah. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
We're staying with this, right?
Might get rickrolled here. All right, so Vaughn, the clock is ticking. Get it? I did it for the gram. I did it for the gram right there. So Vaughn sitting in the cockpit there, waiting patiently, and I think that's going to be all she wrote, Ryan.
Yeah,
let's take a look at the clock.
Here.
Yeah, that's. Oh man, what a bummer. Gutted. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that's it. That's all she wrote for Vaughn. Well, congratulations still goes out to the Gittins. They are celebrating. They're going to have a baby boy, VG3, coming later this year. Sounds like I'm promoting a movie here. So as far as competition goes, JTP will be getting the victory. We'll make that official here in a little bit. Right?
Yeah. And well, if you're going to go out, you might as well go out charging, and that's exactly what he did. So you can't hold that one against him, and you got to feel good about his competition weekend.
All right. So this is the last battle of top 16. Odie versus Kaufman. Bakshis. High on the bank. Nice job by him. Kaufman. Sticking it close to him. Transitions into that second outer zone. Kaufman didn't get all the way out there. I'd like to see him closer. Odie Bakshis. Whoa, wide swing by Odie and Kaufman. Man, you see Odie looked like he was going to go off course, but he really held tough.
Well, we've seen Kaufman have some success here. Almost got a podium a few years back. Odie Bakchis fighting for a championship a few years back. This was a pinnacle event for him. And you can see mid-high line for Odie on the bank. Some surging, some pulling back here for Matt Kaufman coming through the smoke line there. Charging on the inside as Odie gets back on the throttle. Now let's watch this transition by Odie as he goes real wide there. Puts some angle in the car to not go off course. And Kaufman following the line does just about the same thing.
All right, so Kaufman will lead. And Odie will give chase. The winner of this battle will be going against JTP Justin Pollak, who just defeated Von Gittin Jr. Unfortunately, Von taking himself out with that contact after the finish line. So here we go. Who's going to advance on, Kaufman or Bakchis? Kaufman initiating in that Ford V8 powered 240SX. Nice angle there from Kaufman. Really high on the bank and massive angle coming into the power alley, into the touch and go. Odie shoots out of that Achilles tire smoke, and Matt Kaufman knocking over the front clip as Odie and Kaufman crossing the finish line. A solid lead run there by Matt Kaufman.
Very impressive. One of the better runs that we've seen up on the bank from Matt Kaufman. Just a very aggressive flick right into the upper side of the bank, and then watch the rear bumper. He's basically dragging it on the wall. Now coming off, trying to find his line down into the power alley as Odie comes through the smoke line. He charges close to the door here, but Kaufman keeps it tight on that inside clip. Now Odie, nice job right there, moving that front bumper right around with great timing. And man, every battle in the top 16 so far has been very exciting, and this one all the same.
Here we go. Slide him left for Kaufman, right for Odie Bakchis. Our final battle of the top 16. Again, left for Kaufman, right for Bakchis. Ryan says Matt Kaufman. Andy says one more time. And Brian says Matt Kaufman gets the win, taking out Odie Bakchis. Hi, Lantaine. Let's talk Kaufman taking out Odie.
Yeah, I thought Kaufman did a much better job on outside zone 1 and did a better job in the infield as well. If you watched Odie's line from inside clip 1 through inside clip 2 to finish, he rotated way too late at inside clip 2. Almost went off course, like you guys said. He had to stall up a lot there, throwing a lot of angle, and he almost went off. But it came down to really the outside zone 1. The major difference for me, Kaufman was a lot higher, and he also had better proximity when he was chasing Odie in the chase position there. He was mimicking his line better, and I felt he did a better job there as well. So I felt he did slightly better in the lead, slightly better in the chase, gave him the overall win.
All right, so there you have it from the judges. So we will see JTP take the second half of this run. Sans Von Gittin Jr. So this is essentially his victory lap in this battle in the 16, and he will advance on into the grade 8. So again, Matt Kaufman from Central Point, Oregon. So here's JTP Justin Pollak. Like I said, a little victory lap for him as Von Gittin Jr. unable to fix his vehicle, him and his team. And Justin Pollak getting a little practice with the track. All right, there's Kaufman getting out of the car. He's stoked. He's moving on to the grade 8. Speaking of Kaufman, Lorette Nickel caught up with the local boy.
Jared, thank you so much. Matt Kaufman, judges said you were slightly better in lead and chase runs. So how do you improve moving forward?
I think just trusting my team, knowing that they're going to make the changes that need to be made, and just keep moving forward and having fun, really.
Okay. Matt, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, when we come back, our first battle of the grade 8, Peter Visek. Can he make it a perfect event? Our #1 qualifier goes against Alex Hilbrun. All right, welcome back here. The NOS Energy Drink grade 8, Lorette Nickel caught up with the beast from the Bay, Matt Field.
Matt Field is moving on, and there was some contact on track. You kind of saw it coming. What happened?
Yeah, I initiated really close. I initiated really close to Frederick, and everything was looking good up until the point where we come off the bank. But this track that's everything in this track. It's hard, it's scary, it's a fine, small yellow line that's been run over a million times throughout the weekend, so it's really hard to see. So I was on the brakes, and I kept getting closer and closer and closer to him, and at one point I had to kind of lift off the brakes and let my car do what it needed to do. But I'm fortunate that at that same moment, Frederick was already going off course, so he kind of was leading me off. So a little bit of side-by-side contact. We both finished out the run. Obviously, wasn't the prettiest run after that, but we were given 10 minutes to repair the car. Bent tie rod, some body damage, not the end of the world. The boys realigned it. We went back out, did my lead run, just did what I had to do. Nothing stupid, don't fly off course, run hard, run strong, hit your marks. We did it, we're moving on.
Okay. Well, you're going to face James Dean, and you're looking for redemption from New Jersey, so how do you do that?
Redemption, exactly, exactly. I think the only way to do it out here is to put it on their door immediately, right from initiation, and stay there the whole track. That's really all there is to it. Most of these guys out here all have killer lead runs, so it really comes down to the follow. Obviously, lead, strong, hit your marks, do your 100-point qualifying run, but in the follow, it's kind of won or lost right there on zone 1.
Matt, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Matt Field. And I think the star of that interview, I mean, obviously Matt Field, was Jeff Jones and Kyle Mohan dancing behind Matt Field the whole time.
Yeah, they may have won the event there.
He was flossing, and then he did Fortnite celebration dance.
And that is the one that irritates you the most, right? The flossing?
Well, if anybody that has a kid, my son, or my oldest son, I should say, he turns 12 on the 25th, and I love him dearly. And again, happy birthday, Parker, if you're watching, and Tyson, Parker, Stephanie, I'll see you guys soon. But if anybody has a kid in that age of playing Fortnite, they constantly move and dance and do all those silly dances. So flossing, take the L, all the different Fortnite dances, they just do them consistently. Like, anybody who plays Fortnite here, by the way? Can anybody hear me? All right. Hey, just wanna preface here real quick. We debuted the Soundwave at what event was that? New Jersey. We did the Soundwave in New Jersey where you yell "woo" and it's an audio wave. I want to see if you guys can do it. We're not doing it right now, but I want to see if it works here in Seattle. So get prepared. We will be doing the sound wave here in a little bit. That guy's holding a baby by a foot. He caught a baby. All right, so here we go. Peter Visick and Alex Hilbrun. All right, Peter Visick, our #1 qualifier. Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon tires. S15 from Sylvia. He will be from Poland. He will lead. Shots fired there. And Hilbrun. Great angle from both these guys. Visick exiting out. And into that second outer zone goes Visick. Hilbrun, a consistent distance between him and the two drivers. So Ryan, I mean, Visick is just on fire.
Well, you can see why the jump is so important there. The line and angle was pretty similar, but the proximity just wasn't there at the level that you would need in the Great 8 for Alex Hilbrun. You can see he's following the line pretty well. He's got good angle in his car, but Peter Visick out front is laying down a solid standard for a lead run, and we all know what he can do in the chase. So Alex Hilbrun has got some work here cut out for him. Peter Visick needs to keep the pressure on. Hilbrun was there in the mix, but he did not surge and attack like we've seen some of the other drivers on outside zone 1 or in some of the more common areas like inside clip 1 and 2.
Right, also the shade, you know, the sun is at our backs of the bleachers, and it's throwing shade, not metaphorically speaking there like Urban Dictionary throwing shade, but literally throwing shade on the exit of the bank. So as they enter into the power alley, so, you know, visually, you know, they're looking into the sun, right? I mean, because when they're going on the bank, they're kind of looking at the sun, looking forward, and then it goes dark, and as they go into the power alley. So that could be a factor, just visually and seeing, you know, what's going on. Because that yellow lines, the yellow lines all across the track are definitely getting deteriorated with more tires. Here we go. Hilbrun out front. Peter Visick will give chase. Hilbrun initiates into the bank. Peter Visick, whoa, and Hilbrun, whoa, how did he get back out there? Wow, he saved that thing, how, I don't know, and Peter Visick did not back down. Peter Visick staying in it. Hilbrun max angle there, snaps back, and Hilbrun corrects. Oh, boom goes the dynamite. Wow, Hilbrun has taken quite a few hits earlier with Dirk Stratton, now with the wall, and then just gets bumped there. Well, bump draft from Piotr.
Well, let's see the start here, Jared. Starts off pretty dynamic right out of the gate. Hilbrun hits it. You can see a little bit of opposite drift and then gets back on it. Basically, the bumper is riding on the wall. Visick staying in it with parts flying everywhere through the power alley. Both drivers come through into this first inside clip. And then again, right here as we transition back around, a real snappy transition from Hilbrun, but he does not have enough momentum to keep him moving forward. You can kind of see that starting to manifest in between inside clip 1 and inside clip 2. Here's the contact. You can see the trunk fly up there, but he keeps angling the car after he kind of has a little bit of an opposite drift. So certainly for Hilbrun, he was pushing as hard as you possibly can and trying to get Visick to make some mistakes in the chase position, but unfortunately here you can see that weird angle that he had to transition at. He wasn't able to hold it, and Visick runs into him right there, right past that first inside clip. Excuse me, the second inside clip.
All right, so going to the judges, slide him left for Hilbrun, slide him right for Piotr Visick. And here we go. And there you go. Piotr Visick gets the win. Piotr Visick gets the win. All right, so we're going to catch up with Lorette Nickel. Lorette Nickel, she had some words with a very happy driver, find himself in the grade 8, Ryan Tuerck.
Ryan Tuerck had some adversity in New Jersey and had some time to fix it. So can you walk us through what you guys had to work on?
Yeah, so in New Jersey, we were just fighting some power steering issues. I guess it turns out we were overspinning the pump, and what we were told we could rev the pump to, it turns out is not even close to what the actual limitation of it is. So that was, you know, we were fighting through that the entire Thursday all the way to Saturday, and so thankfully we had our mid-season break, and it had about 4 to 5 weeks to go over the entire car, and you know, the team worked on the engine, in the engine bay, and a power steering pump situation, and came up with a solution, and everything's been solid. We wheeled this thing off the trailer, had 4 laps of practice, got it dialed in, and we've been running hard ever since.
And your confidence running high at this track?
Yeah, we're feeling good. Car's easy to drive, and it's competitive trim, and you know, we're not, I thought we were going to be slower in tandem, but we're not. The car is just working really well, so I'm happy with it.
Ryan, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we are seeing our other battle, James Dean, Matt Field. Look at, if James Dean advances on, he goes against his Wordhouse Drift teammate, and we saw some amazing battles from them in New Jersey, and right now it's Dean versus Field. Field wants to put a stop to that, and he just took out Frederick Osbo. Field took out Dean Carney. Here we go. All right, so James Dean throws it in, and Matt Field initiates right there in that Wish Falcon Tires Corvette. Both these guys on Falcon tires, coming off the bank, into the power alley, transition into that second outer zone. James Dean, great degree of angle. Matt Field, good proximity, just not as much angle, but solid chase job there from the beast from the bay going against the machine.
Well, Field told you what needed to be done, and you could see him right here making an extra effort to do that. Initiates right next to James Dean, keeps the pressure on. So we're going to be watching this next run to see if James can do the same thing. You can see Matt Field holding that line, just drops down for just a split second there, but great job by Matt. Dean out front, a solid lead run is what we expect from him. Here's Matt Field, just a tiny bit less angle there, but still keeping the pressure on through inside clip 1, and then just a tiny bit of separation there. Great job by Matt Field, one of the most important parts of this course, as per the judges, the big bank, a lot of points allocated there in qualifying, and of course, a lot of attention being paid there in the head-to-head matchups, and Field executed that near perfectly, so great job by him. And then you can see he keeps the pressure on with just some minor adjustments that maybe could have been made to make it a near perfect chase run as he falls off a little bit towards the end there. So now it is all up to James Dean. Can he have as good or better a chase run than Matt Field? And can Matt Field have a lead run like James Dean? We'll find out here on the second half of the battle.
Here we go. Matt Field will lead. James Dean will give chase. James Dean launching an attack. Matt Field, great angle there. James Dean mimicking that angle. Look at him. Look at the hands on the wheel. Matt Field throwing down some power in the power rally. Transition from Field. Dean right there. And man, wow. Oh man, the place is erupting here.
Well, James Dean answered back, and we just, sometimes these runs when they're so close, you can see the minute differences. Dean dives in right out the gate. Look at Field nice and high on the bank, but James Dean staying with them. Great job, just absolutely perfectly executed there. Then through the smoke line, stays with Field through this inside clip, keeps the angle strong, and then one last push here towards the finish line. And he is right there on the back bumper of Matt Field. Taking a look at it side by side here, you can see pretty even right now, maybe a little bit less angle from Field, but Dean super consistent, as well as Field right there just for a minute second, maybe the variable there. And then through the smoke line, Field tucks up on the inside, as does
Yeah,
Dean.
you can see Field lacking just
a little
the
bit
same
less
degree of
angle there,
angle.
and then the separation there. Is that enough to give James Dean the win here? Finding out whether or not it's going to be Dean or Field facing Peter Vinsek.
Slide him left for Field, right for James Dean. Who's getting the win? Who's going against the Polish drivers? His own Wordhouse Drift teammate. Ryan says Dean. Andy and Brian say James Dean gets the win. James Dean advances on. And Ryan, like you said, just those little minute details. Great chase job there by Matt Field, but in the latter portion of it, just lacking the angle. James Dean delivered on all fronts, especially in that chase position. So now let's go to the other side of the bracket. Already in the final four, Peter Vinsek and James Dean. On this side, Christos Blush versus Ryan Tuerck. So you saw Lorette has some words with Ryan Tuerck. He's going against one of his homies, Christos Blush. Blush, definitely an aggressive driver. You know, he's no holds barred. So Blush is going to come uncorked. Here you can see those winning percentage, and these guys have seen battle against each other 2 times, with Ryan Tuerck winning both of those battles. So Christop's qualifying higher. He qualified number 2. So he had a bye run. Then he went against Cameron Moore. Now here he is going against Ryan Tuerck. Ryan Tuerck went through Farouk Kawai. Then just recently Dai Yoshihara after a one more time battle. And now here he is going against Blush. The last battle of the Grade 8, Justin Pollak versus Matt Kaufman. Coincidentally, both those guys, obviously the Mustang with a Ford engine, but Matt Kaufman with a Ford V8.
Another variable is that make the team efficient and at the same time keep everybody at a level playing field as far as how many laps you're on.
All right, here we go. Christos Blush, Ryan Tuerck, initiated into the bank. Wow, you can see the banners just flapping in the wind as Christos goes by. You can see Christos' good degree of angle. Ryan Tuerck keeps proximity, not mimicking the angle that that Christos is creating. Now transition. This guy's ripping all sort of extraterrestrial noises coming from these vehicles, that Mass Motorsports V8 and the 2J. With anti-lag firing off.
Well, you can see Tuerck actually initiated earlier than Kristaps, and he had to make an adjustment there. We'll see how the judges take that into consideration, but he's able to keep a good fight here against Blush, tucking through that smoke line after the power alley and right before that inside clip 1, and then keeping it in tow with Kristaps. But a little bit of a trouble on initiation there for Ryan Tuerck. Initiated early and then had to make that slight little angle reduction. And now we will swap positions here as Blush trying to build off of his win in Atlanta. Had a tougher event in New Jersey. And now back at it here, round 5. On the downside of the season as we make our way to the finals with just 3 rounds left to go after this, Jared. And championship points and lots of podiums still to be had, but we are inching our way towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and you're seeing James Dean and Pieter, and you talked about Pieter. He is a serious threat for a championship. We saw him get the win in Irwindale, but right now it's all about Ryan Tuerck and Christos Blush, who is also a contender in the championship. Ryan Tuerck and that gum out Toyota Racing Toyota 86 on Nexen tires, and then the Achilles tires underneath Christos Blush. Ryan Tuerck, the only Nexen tire hope here, but Christos Blush, Matt Kaufman, they're representing Achilles. Here we go. Ryan Tuerck out front. Christos Blush in the chase position. Tuerck initiates. Looks like Blush a little higher on the bank. Now Ryan Tuerck works his way up. Blush now dropping down into the power alley. Past the touch and go in that second outer zone. Tuerck looking a lot more comfortable getting that clean air. Oh, and Blush centers that clip.
Weird finish there for Blush, and was expecting him to kind of be in the fight a little bit more from the onset there. And maybe this will neutralize that initiation mistake that Tuerck made. You can see that Blush is in decent proximity, but not really pushing the pace, and Tuerck out front hits that outside zone nice and tight here on this inside clip. Now watch Blush as he comes through the smoke line. He's just not lined up proper, and he actually hits it on the other side of the vehicle. Here's run number one. Watch Tuerck on his initiation right there. Has a little bit of a funky setup, but he made it look pretty decent. And you can see this bit of separation as Tuerck now starts to close the door. Now we're coming off the bank. Nice job right there by Blush through that touch and go. And Tuerck keeps the pressure on. We didn't see that from Blush. And then we saw the mistake from Blush right there in the chase position, getting on the inside of that cone.
Wow, so getting that Black Magic clip there, and let's go to the judges. Results are in. Slide them left for Ryan Tuerck, right for Christos Blush. And Christos, who qualified second, can he take out? No, Ryan Tuerck gets the win. Ryan Tuerck gets the victory, taking out Christos Blush. And Lantain, it was unanimous, but just want to wrap out with you again. Christos, very, very strong, but that chase job there definitely threw it off.
Yeah, he definitely made a mistake at inside clip 2. He dropped 2 tires there and hit that inside clip actually on the inside of the driver's side of the car. So he went off quite a bit there. And in terms of the outside zone 1, I don't think he'd quite had the chase, you know, that.
He was kind of there, but I'm sorry.
Who are you talking over? Sorry about that, guys. And no, yeah, overall, I think that Tuerck did a better job, clearly, in the lead and chase position. I had 3 voices in my head at the same time. Sorry.
I always have 3 voices in my head at all times, even without headset.
Plus your own.
Plus my
voices,
own voice. Yeah. Sorry to throw you off, Ryan. I thought you were a professional. Come on.
Clearly not.
Oh man, as Justin Pollak, Matt Kaufman, the final battle of the Great 8. The best part of when you made that face, I was conversing with our control. That was on camera too. All right, so JTP, Matt Kaufman, like I said, both these guys Ford powered. All right, so we're looking at Pieter Visick, James Dean on one side, and now Ryan Tuerck will go against the winner of this battle, Justin Pollak in that Falcon Tire Roush Performance Ford Mustang, Matt Kaufman, Achilles Tire Thunderbolt Racing Fuel S13, and Kaufman maybe giving himself too much room here. Can he catch up? You can see him foregoing some angle and gaining some ground. As Pollak on the bank, you see some wavering there from Kaufman. Now throwing it into the power alley. Pollak with a good amount of angle. You see him using all of that wall and then beelining towards that apex. Pretty good job by both drivers.
So Jared, last battle in the Great 8, as you said. Pollak, that same initiation style that he's had, putting him in good position here, nice and high on the bank. just with that right tire below the top line there as Kaufman tries to push the pressure coming off the bank through the power alley. As we see Pollak get out to that second outer zone and draw that nice smooth line through those last two inside clips as Kaufman just falls back for a second there.
All right, so Matt Kaufman will lead. Justin Pollak will give chase. Ryan Tuerck qualifying 7th. JTP qualifying 3rd. Matt Kaufman qualifying 22nd. Just looking at the 3rd place constellation bracket, because obviously we don't have the 3rd place battle anymore. 3rd place winner gets denoted, and looks like cone got knocked, but lights did it, so it didn't get out of place as Kaufman initiates. A big gap here, surprisingly, from Justin Pollak. And look at that, Kaufman, real dominant right now, but look at Justin Pollak. He's down but not out, knocks over that Black Magic clip. And around that final clipping point and finish line.
Let's take a look at this again here. As we see Kaufman establishing this gap here, Pollak now closing up the rear end. But watch this, Jared. You may have not seen it because of the shade, but Kaufman really deep into the zone, goes way off course there, and goes way far beyond that touch and go. And that allows Pollak to close the door after outside zone 2 and inside clip 1. So I'm sure we're going to ISO that off, but that was definitely off course there for Kaufman.
All right, slide him left for Kaufman, slide him right for Pollak, Ryan, Andy, and Brian. And Ryan says Justin Pollak, and as do the other judges. JTP gets the win. Unfortunately, Matt Kaufman from here in the PNW, Central Point, Oregon, is knocked out. So our final 4 is set. Here's an interesting stat I was just told by the staff. They said we ever since FD, we haven't had 5 different winners over 5 different events. Last time we had 4 was back in 2009, but we've never had 5 events with 5 different winners. So 2 drivers that definitely want to get back on top of the box. James Dean, he did get a win in New Jersey most recently. Peter Vincek hasn't had a win since last year. And Tuerck, need to pull up those stats. But Lorette Nickel caught up with the Wordhouse Drift team.
Well, these two are battling against each other, and guys, so who wins? Who takes the win?
You know, every time we battle, whether it's in Europe or in America, we're just, as soon as we have the chance to battle each other, it's just all smiles, and win or lose, it's going to be good.
All right, Peter, you're looking for redemption from New Jersey, so are you going to do that here in Seattle?
I'm not looking for any redemption. I'm just here to have a good time, you know, and especially now when I can face my body, you know, it's like, it will be simply a pleasure. So whoever win, gonna celebrate a bit more than the other, because we both gonna definitely celebrate this weekend. It's brilliant. So we're hoping to face each other. We do. So I can say that the goal is achieved. So thank you for that, James. And it's a great feeling.
Okay, you guys are the best. Good luck to both of you. Guys, back to you.
Awesome.
All right, well, there you have it, the Wordhouse Drift team, guys. And being fed some stats here, Ryan Tuerck hasn't won an event since 2015, so it's been quite some time. All right, so we are seeing our 2 Wordhouse Drift teammates. You can tell them apart by just slight differences. The hood of blue and red. Peter Vincek will lead. He qualified 1st. James Dean qualified 4th. Now, if James Dean wins, Peter Vincek automatically gets the podium because he gets 3rd place because he's a higher qualifying driver of the other 2 drivers, which Ryan Tuerck qualified 7th, JTP qualified 3rd. So, Ryan, do you think strategy comes into play here?
Well, it was pointed out to me by the wise Mystery Wada that if this was Formula One, you would team orders would be have Peter throw it to James because you'd have 2 Wordhouse guys on the podium. But that's not how we do it in drifting.
No, man. We go for it.
We go for it. And if you are Frederick Osbo, you are voting for Peter Vincek here because he's a little bit further down in the championship chase. And a James Dean getting knocked out here would keep him a little bit further out in his championship lead, which will clearly be extended here by the surpassing both Osbo and Forsberg at this event.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if Piotr throws it for some gain of the team. I think he's just going to go for it.
He's going to go for it, 100%.
Bragging rights.
This is we don't go there.
Bragging dragon. Here we go. Piotr Visick in the lead. James Dean in the chase. We saw these guys do battle New Jersey, and right now they're putting on a show. But this is to go to the finals. Peter and James, good job coming into the power alley. Oh, and James Dean comes back. James goes off course, gets lost in that Falcon tire smoke. Twin it to win it.
Well, it looks like both drivers may have gone off course in the power alley. You got Peter Visick out front, just as a reminder. Nice and high on the bank. Dean just a tiny bit lower, but great matching angle there. Now watch as we come into the shade here. You're going to see both drivers go off course. A little bit more extreme for Dean. He has big angle there, and he has to make his way up. So it does look like both drivers were off course there, and you have to wonder if the shade is playing a role on their visual. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That might even be 3 off.
Yeah, both of them really off course.
But both of them really off course, and obviously Peter is the lead driver. He has responsibilities and goals, and you can see, here it is. This is the camera we've been using all day. You can see the yellow line there. Peter is riding that front wheel right on that line.
It looks like
close.
Might be 3 wheels off there, and I know we're saying they're both 3 wheels off, but the lead driver is the one that sets the pace. If the lead driver goes 3 wheels off, we tell the chase driver to follow them. So can't fault Dean for following him if he goes off course. It's really the lead driver's responsibility to stay on the track there, and it looked like he might have gone 3 wheels off in that touch and go area.
These guys are attached at the hip, both on course and off course, so it makes sense that James follows
separate them. Yeah. Wherever you go, I go with you. We make a joke in the drivers' meeting. We say, chase cars follow the lead car unless they go in somewhere dangerous, like a wall or something like that. And they laugh at us, but it's important to state.
Yep. It's like your mom said, if your friend jumped off a bridge, would you? And at this point, yes. All right, here we go. James Dean will lead. Piotr Visick in the chase position. Whoa, look at Piotr. Joe running. Look at these guys. It's a dogfight between teammates. Peter Visick going for it. In that chase position, but again, 3 wheels off on that first run would mean he was at a deficit, so he's throwing caution to the wind, or better yet, his car at the door of James Dean. I mean, he owns both cars, so why not?
Well, we expected a great battle here, and that's what we got. Peter Visick pushing the pressure here, much closer than James, and making contact there, but James, stalwart, not moving at all, coming down off into that touch-and-go area. You can see James had that better line as the lead driver. Peter a little bit less angle here, but just an absolutely incredible job up on the bank by Peter Visick to push the pressure. And James for holding the line there. You can see the left front wheel is just behind. James is hitting the door there. Certainly going to be some rubbing marks, no doubt about that. And we were not disappointed here in the Final Four.
No, that's very impressive by both the drivers. Look at these guys hugging. All right, so again, so James Dean, Peter Visick. If James wins, Peter is still locked in for that final podium spot. Slide him left for James Dean, the machine. Slide him right for Peter Visick. James Dean, our current points leader, defending champion. Is he going to the finals? The answer is yes. James Dean gets the win unanimously. All right, so as we have James Dean going in the finals, the other side of the bracket has Ryan Tuerck versus Justin Pollak. Lorette caught up with the Roush Performance Falcon Tire Ford Mustang driver.
JTP, congratulations. I was just asking you about the line out there, and is it kind of crumbling apart? What are you experiencing?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not really paying attention to that touch and go, it's really hard to see. But there is still remnants of it. I mean, we've been running the same laps like all weekend, so you really just got to pay attention to your markers, like coming off the bank, not like staying like too hard on throttle off the bank, and start looking for that touch and go that's kind of has a nice patina on it.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Justin Pollak and Ryan Tuerck. You can see how many times these guys have gone against each other. 13 times total, with JTP winning 8 of those times. And Ryan, we got those stats earlier. Ryan Tuerck hasn't won since 2015. JTP since 2012. So quite some time there. Again, this is the final battle in the Final Four to decide who goes to the finals against James Dean. Future rounds of Formula Drift competition, St. Louis in just a few weeks. A new venue for us, Gateway Motorsports Park. Then we head to Texas Motor Speedway. And then finally, the final round, the House of Drift, Irwindale, California in October. Gosh, I can't believe it. After this round, there's only 3 rounds left. And I've had a month off here. It seemed like the first 3 rounds just jammed on by, but right now, here we are. JTP will lead. Ryan Tuerck giving chase. Already lighting up those Falcon tires. Goes Justin Pollak, Ryan Tuerck. Keeping a consistent distance between him and Pollak. Now coming to that power alley, talking about that touch and go. There he goes into it. Down to that second outer zone. Big angle there from Justin Pollak in the lead. Now transition into that final clip. Nice job by Pollak. Looked like Pollak kind of struggling there. You hear it kind of growl across that finish line.
Let's see it from the start here, Jared. Same initiation from Pollak. You can see right there Ryan Tuerck eyeing up an opportunity. Does a great job to try to get on that line as best he can. Or Pollak, who's on that pretty high line there. Now you can see Tuerck closing the door a little bit as they come into that touch and go. Both drivers stay on course, wrapping through that outside zone and the inside clip as they hit this final transition here. Pollak right there for a second, as you said, unwinding the angle there towards the finish line as Tuerck closes the door. And now we will switch positions here. Who is going to go to the finals against James Dean?
Where are my Ryan Tuerck fans at? Make some noise. Where are my JTP fans at? Justin Pollak, make some noise. Where are my drifting fans at? Make some noise! Here we go. Ryan Tuerck, Justin Pollak. Ryan Tuerck initiated into the bank. Justin Pollak having to back off. Now Tuerck working his way up the bank into the power alley. Quick little touch and go. In that second outer zone, Justin Pollak steps to the side of Tuerck, wrapping it around. Who's going to the finals, Tuerck or Pollak?
Well, Justin may have not given himself the best opportunity there on the bank. Very important part of the course. You can see there he loses a little bit of ground to Tuerck. Now he's starting to catch up here, but Tuerck gets on the throttle as well, keeps his distance, and he's at a nice high line there. Now coming down off the bank, Justin closes the door a little bit here through the smoke line. Inching up to Ryan Tuerck, and then a little bit more separation here as they wrap around this last turn. So both runs in the books.
So who's going to the final? Slide him left for Ryan Tuerck, right for Justin Pollak. Who's going against James Dean, the defending champion and current points leader? Here's our judge's verdict. Ryan says Ryan Tuerck gets the win unanimously. Ryan Tuerck gets the win and is going to the finals.
You know, certainly this is going to have a huge impact on the championship. James Dean putting himself in a position, win or lose here, to extend his lead over Chris Forsberg and Frederick Osbo. And that'll be a big talking point for a lot of the media afterwards as we figure out where this championship's going to go.
All right, so as we get prepared for our finals, James Dean, Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires S15, Ryan Tuerck in his Gunnout Toyota Racing Toyota 86 on Nexen Tires. We're getting prepped, so why not throw it down to Lorette Nickel?
Yeah. Ryan hasn't won since 2015. You are looking for that next win, so how do you do that?
Yeah, I also haven't beat James Dean yet either, so we're in the finals together. No better place to face off. So we're just gonna go out there and do what we've been doing. Try to stay consistent on line, speed and angle, and just send it. Hopefully it works out for us.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lorette. Good luck to you, Ryan Tuerck. And, of course, good luck to James Dean. You guys having fun out there, Seattle and around the world? The sun is setting here, but the party continues. The finals are upon us. Lorette had some words with Ryan Tuerck, so let's have some words with the machine, James Dean.
James Dean just had an incredible battle with his best friend and teammate, Peter, and you said you're so glad you're not a judge.
Yeah, I knew we made a mistake in the first run when I was chasing. I wasn't very close on the bank. We're close, but not as close as he was to me. When he chased me, it was ridiculous. I was just full throttle. He was there tapping my door, and it doesn't get any crazier than that. Unfortunately, I think he lost it because of dropping wheels in the touch and go, but the two of us were just going hard and having a blast. Like, before we ever went on track, we were just like pointing at each other, laughing at each other, and it's hard to believe we're in Formula Drift battling in the top four, you know. It's just, driving with this man is just a crazy feeling. He's one of the most aggressive drivers in the world, and in my opinion, he's my favorite chase driver. He is just so aggressive, and to have him as a teammate and a friend and to have all this fun together is just a dream. So.
And the energy is obvious, and as is the adrenaline. I can see your hands shaking even through your gloves.
I'm trying to hold it together.
James, that's amazing. And you said before you went into the final four battles, it's so good to finally relax. What did you mean by that?
Mainly because of battling Peter, because, you know, no matter what, one of us, we're going to move on. And that's a result for either one of us. And, you know, when we battle each other, whether it's top 16 or in the finals, it doesn't matter. It's just fun. You can enjoy it. And you always know that one driver is going to move on. So for that, as a driver, it just makes you relax, and you know that something good's going to happen no matter what.
And talk about the confidence of battling your teammate and what you had in him.
Can you, repeat that?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Talk about the confidence that you had with Peter and battling him on the track.
Yeah, you know he's not going to play any games. And to be honest, nobody plays games here anymore. Everyone's full throttle, full commitment. But driving with Peter, you know there's going to be absolutely nothing, and he's going to go absolutely all out. So as a driver, you know you have to like pump yourself up before you leave the line, because if you don't push 110%, you're not going to get the win.
James, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Nothing but full throttle. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Shout out to the Dean family. Saw them at Goodwood, Mom and Dad Dean. And shout out to T-Bone. Tyson Bravo, I love you. I'll see you soon, buddy. As James Dean, Ryan Tuerck, are you ready, Seattle? Are you ready, drifting world? Our defending champion, James Dean, going against Ryan Tuerck in the finals. All the stats. Ryan Tuerck hasn't had a victory, hasn't had a win since 2015. He hasn't been on the podium since Long Beach last year. James Dean, just coming off of a win in New Jersey. Can he go back to back? You see the stats. 3 battles between them. James Dean, undefeated. Can Ryan Tuerck get in his way? Is he going to put James Dean and put him to a halt? As Ryan Tuerck and his gum out Toyota Racing Toyota 86 on Nexen tires. James Dean, Wordhouse Drift Team from Ireland. Like I said, a hiatus after numerous years, comes back last year, dominant fashion, and wins the championship after a multi-year long hiatus. We are ready to send it. Are you ready to send it, Seattle? The battle in Seattle, the AutoZone Throwdown, presented by Rain-X. And we are prepped and ready to send it. James Dean will lead. He qualified 4th compared to Ryan Tuerck, who qualified 7th. Hashtag FDSEA. All right, we are clear to send. We are ready here. Get the official word. On 3, let's yell send it as loud as possible. They can hear us all across the globe. 1, 2, 3, send it! Here we go. James Dean will lead Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15. Ryan Tuerck, chasing him down on the bank, already getting into formation. James Dean, massive angle there. Ryan Tuerck, look at the plumes of smoke coming off both of these weapons of mass destruction. Ireland versus USA. Big, nasty transition into that second outer zone. Ryan Tuerck a little bit hesitant, approaching and chasing down James Dean. Around that final clip goes Dean and Tuerck. Let them know you're here.
Well, Ryan Tuerck knew that he was going to have to push it on the bank, and that's what he does right here as well as he possibly can, pushing that vehicle to its limits. You can see Dean, great line on the bank with huge angle, and Tuerck a little bit lower, tighter line, but still staying within proximity. Now right here, Tuerck has a little bit of a wonky transition to that outside zone. He's able to pull it off, but Dean out front with this clean line. Now we see what Ryan Tuerck needs to do in his lead, and we see what areas that James Dean can attack in the chase position. You can see the camera shaking there from everybody stomping their feet, and a great way to kick off the finals here as now we switch things up. Ryan Tuerck to the lead, and James Dean will chase him down.
And we are ready to send it. Looks like the camera getting ready, and we are ready to send it. Let's yell send it once again on 3. Looks like the door of James Dean opens up briefly. On 3, yell send it. 1, 2, 3, send it! Here we go. Ryan Tuerck will lead. Is he going to get in the way of James the Machine Dean, or is James going to continue his tear? Ryan Tuerck, big angle there. Bit of a gap between them, but James Dean now gets into formation, coming into that power alley. Hits the touch and go, gets in that second outer zone. James Dean chasing him down. One last clip for Glory. Who's the Glory going to lean on? Make some noise, Evergreen. Look at that, the camera shaking there because the fans here at Evergreen are stomping their feet. Ryan, let's take a look at this again. You're talking about going off course?
Well, Tuerck does a really good job here at the beginning. Dean, a little bit of separation. Now he's starting to close the door. Tuerck on this nice high line. Now Dean really pouring the pressure on. Let's watch it. Tuerck right here in the touch and go. Looks like Dean just may have gone off a tiny bit there in the power alley on that touch and go section, but not enough to make it very noticeable. But he does give himself some separation there. So Tuerck fighting back a little bit, but is it enough? We saw an incredible lead run by James Dean. Tuerck came back with a solid one of his own. We saw that little bit of a mistake on the transition by Tuerck in the power alley on his chase run. And now it's all up to the judges of whether or not we have a victor.
If we have a winner, we'll bring them right here in front of you, right at the Crow's Nest, and then join us at the podium ceremony, the trophy ceremony. We're taking a look side by side here, Ryan.
Yes, here it is, side by side. You can see Tuerck gets up to Dean a bit earlier. Stays on him, so duration of proximity is a little bit stronger for Tuerck, but then right there the line is a bit better for Dean on his chase run. This is where Dean, I think he maybe gone off a tiny bit, but Tuerck also has this little bit of a mistake on his transition up to outside zone 2. Then he misses outside zone 2, and that gives Dean an opportunity out front. And there you see Dean trying to close the door against Tuerck. So both drivers, a couple little mistakes there and there. Which one was bigger overall? Do we have a victor? Or is it too close to call?
Just waiting on the judges. A strong delivery. I mean, you know, James Dean was talking about, I do not envy the judges. What do you guys think? I'm seeing some fingers out there. Oh, you're saying one more time. Got it. A lot of fans holding up the one out here. You can see them. Man, they are chanting out there. And we do have a winner. It is not going one more time. We do have a winner, and it is not unanimous. Make some noise for both of our drivers, Ryan Tuerck and James Dean. Tag Formula D, tag all the drivers. Tag me, at Jerry Dienda. Little shameless plug there. Tag Ryan J. Sage. DJ Ryan Sage, bringing it back. Make some noise for him. Here's a couple birdies for you. I told you to get your phones out. An international affair. A Pole, an Irishman, and an American walk into a bar, and they get carbon fiber trophies. Your #1 qualifier, he did it. get the win here today, but he is on the podium because he's your #1 qualifier. Third place here at the AutoZone Throwdown presented by Rain-X Round 5 of the Formula Jet Black Magic Pro Championship. Third place here in Seattle is Peter Visek. And now the winner here at the battle in Seattle, the AutoZone Throwdown presented by Rain-X. Round 5. Your winner at Seattle. Did you guys have fun out here? Make some noise! It's James Dean. James Dean gets the win. Gets the win here in Seattle. The AutoZone Throwdown presented by Rain-X. James Dean gets the win in his Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires S15. The second place. Hasn't been on the podium since Long Beach last year. Second place in that gum out Toyota Racing Toyota 86 on Nexon tires. Ryan Tuerck. Ryan Tuerck gets second place here in Seattle. Peter Visek rounds out third. Thank you guys and gals so much for joining us. Lorette Nickel, down to you. Yeah. All right, so unfortunately our audio is not working. Sorry, Lorette. And congratulations, James. On behalf of all the judges, Brian Egger, Andy Yen, Ryan Lantain, our hardworking Formula Drift staff, thank you for celebrating 12 years here and 15 years of Formula Drift here in the 2018 season. Send it, Seattle.